Where's Randy?
Give me
Yeah,
one
let me call
second,
Randy.
yeah.
Okay, sure.
Goes better than ours. Okay. Okay. Start off by saying my thoughts and prayers, or our thoughts and prayers from the Wildcat family, go out to all the people in California that have, I know some people have died, lost their homes. It's just tragic. I can't believe that's actually happening. And I'm from 2 hours away from there, and it's just, it's really devastating seeing on social media and stuff what's going on there. So really, really sad. So definitely prayers and thoughts from us for that. Tough game today. I want to credit Iowa State. You know, they're coached really well. They're a good team. I thought they showed a tremendous amount of poise against our press. They picked us apart. They moved the ball really well without panicking and continuing to get open threes. And we tried different presses. We tried a man press against them, move the ball. Had to go to a zone press. They even were picking apart some of our aggressive presses. So just had a tough time guarding them in the half court and full court. Yeah.
Matchup between Brea and Adia, both of them didn't score as much, but they had impacts in other ways. Can you just talk about, from both sides, how that went?
Yeah, I think that what really hurt us was that Audie Crooks demands a lot of attention inside. And so that made us really out of position for the weak side, and I don't know why. And some of that was Lauren, as a freshman, being out of position a lot. She gave up a lot of threes on the backside, but when we explained to her, I think it was just the understanding if the ball's on the wing and she's really low in help side, not on the line of the ball, very hard to get out to shooters, and they killed us on that. They put a shooter opposite and continuing. So just teaching her, and we showed her some clips on the bench, but just teaching her to be on the line of the ball, move on the air time so you can get there, because if you're so low, you can't get there. And we continue to make that mistake, and that really, really hurt us. You know, we gave, I think, what was she, 9 for 14? Yeah, we gave like Sydney Harris 9 for 14, 5 for 9, but that she hurt us. That was the difference in the game. I think that we did a pretty good job of crowding Crooks, but I think just the paint is really congested. So it wasn't until like the third or fourth quarter we were starting to drive. They were icing on balls, and our posts were standing, not rolling. And so it's hard. Adi's low, but we had to roll away. We weren't doing that. I think just the things that like we work on, they kind of took us out of it. And I think mentally we weren't locked in to execute some of the things that we knew we had to do against them.
What did you say to your team midway through the second quarter when they kind of went on that spark and obviously get them in like 8 or 6?
Yeah, well, we went on a momentum. I thought our press had turned them over at the times, but then we did it later and we're out of position. You know, I'll give you a couple of examples. I told them, press, we had to manufacture points. We talk about wars and their games within a game, that we had to win those 5 minutes and kind of how we do it, and we switched some on-ball stuff. And I think we had momentum going into, so this is a hard thing, young team, had a tremendous amount of momentum going to halftime, and then come out and make 2 mistakes off the bat. Those are killers, and those you lose a game like that. So you can't fight so hard. We had a huge, I don't know the max points we were down, but I think we were down by like 19, I thought 19. So we'd like to be down 19. We did last game in this game. And then we battled back, did a great job, and then we hit this amazing shot, and then we come out and like, we had just talked and drew twice. The play we're in, we don't execute it right away. We were confused on that. Then did it, and then turned the ball over. And then they score on the other end. So those are backbreakers that you lose games. And then the momentum just shifted then. So we gave that to them, and they actually took it from us. So those are things that can't happen. You have to be locked in. I gave them extra time to go out and warm up ready because I knew we had momentum and confidence. And then we did not produce the first few minutes of the game. And that's a problem. And then continuing to make mistakes in the same way. Like, as a player also, we have to have awareness. If I'm next to Kim and Kim just hit 3 threes, I need to get there a little bit closer or make her do something different. I need to make her drive it. We never adjusted like that, and we're continuing to say it off the bench. And then in the press, we're very reactive. We're not proactive. So we have to be able to work early. And that, for us, that's breaking the timing and spacing of offense. So making them catch it out a little bit further, especially when they have a dynamic post on the strong side. If the ball just goes around, we can't do that. And then they bring it in the post, it congests us, and then kick it out to shooters. So I think working early, and we didn't do that. The post players did a good job of that in the post, but the guards didn't do that. They're never in deny. They're getting face cut. They're not communicating. And, you know, I look at their team. They had great communication. So they wanted it more. I'm watching. I even told some of their players that in the line. They're calling, help side. We're not talking. So those are things when things are hard and it's not 70 and sunny outside and you're down 19, you have to be able to communicate and you have to be able to give a little bit more. And we're not able to do that now for a variety of reasons. And I got to figure out a way to get us to do those things and be more locked in and disciplined on defense.
You guys are 2-0 on the road in the Big 12 and 0-3 at home. Do you think there's anything to that?
And now I think that, well, we've played some better teams at home. So we played two of the lower teams in the Big 12 on the road. On the road's hard in general, but we played tougher teams at home. So I don't know if that's a factor. Baylor's a lot stronger than at this point than BYU and UCF. And then very hard for us when these teams have these dominant post players, we have a hard time. So against like dominant post players with dynamic guards, because we're going in every game kind of figuring out how we're going to match up. And that's hard. Whether it's like today our big matchup problem was going to be at the 4 with Brown. It's hard when she's very guard-like, but we had a tough time guarding their guards. And then I think we've struggled in those games where we got to pay attention inside with shooters. We've had a hard time. And it should be opposite. We should win at home, which we typically did in the past. I think it's just who we played at home, unfortunately.
When you looked at Iowa State and you started preparing for them, you know, of course, their two biggest is you know, Brown and Crooks.
Yeah.
But then you had the surprise of Harris today. So when you talk to your team during timeouts, during halftime, and somebody's hot like that you really haven't prepared for, what do you say?
Well, we were prepared because they have so many. We were prepared for that because we knew coming off the bench, like, she's a shooter. So she's a full closeout. We already were prepared. It wasn't like someone that wasn't on the scout that we didn't know. And because on their team, different people can be full closeouts. Because, right, you could really full closeout on 4 people because they're all over 40%. But it even changes. So in a game, someone hits 2, they're already a full closeout. So I think just the understanding of that, understanding in the game at the time, it wasn't Crook scoring, it was her continuously off of transition, off of help. So that's awareness as a player. First of all, we weren't in the right positioning. We were too low off the line. And then also understanding you need to be a little closer, or I'd rather even cheat a little closer and let them score different. So let Crooks score and then adjust. Like, we would do the same thing if Crooks was hot. We'd maybe be closer to her a little bit more. And that's awareness in the game. And that's a problem. We have to be able to be smart enough to be a little closer in your matchup and know that. But just little things like, to me, a lot of it's communication. So if you're in a press and, like, someone has the ball, I don't care if Brea's guarding a point guard, you can't leave the ball. Like, we saw mistakes like that. That's a communication thing and a fatigue thing. You leave the ball and it's a 3, but they did a great job of capitalizing on that. Every time we made a mistake like that, the point guard wasn't guarded because 2 are matched up here, it's a 3. And so every time we turned it over early, it's a 3, and that's a problem. And I think that we have got to find a group also that can defend in the half court the way we want to, and then be able to execute some offense. And right now we're kind of searching for that. I was glad to see Sky do better today. I thought she had some tough calls. I think that was, and I was sad about that because she was great yesterday, feeling good, comes in, locked in, and then gets 2 bad calls. That was rough. So I actually let her play through with 2 fouls because I wanted her to get a little bit confident. She made a good play, then put her back in. So I was good to see Skylar back. I think she did a really good job. And I think in these games when, you know, like when Brea is having a tough time or it's a really tough matchup, we need other people to step up. Isis had some good looks. It wasn't her day, but she did a great job last game. So it's like other people, you know, other guards have to step up, and we need to manufacture points in other ways if someone isn't scoring. Because Brea's usually who we pound the ball into most of the time. So I think when she's not or has a tough matchup, we have to find other ways to score. And the reality is, like, we don't have a lot of other scoring sometimes. And I think Jada did a really good job. Was cold, kind of sat, came back. She went on a run herself. But then I think we're forcing a lot of quick shots. And then good teams, it's transition and it's a bucket. You know, and we did that 2 times in the 4th quarter, and they scored 3s off of it. So those are just young mistakes that we have to learn from. But we have to be able to just play a little bit more offensive, our offense efficiently, and other people have to step up when someone else isn't.
Sanaya Jaw was not here
Yeah.
tonight. What is her status?
So she's not with the team right now, coach's decision.
Lauren obviously had the half-court shot.
Yeah.
Really good three-point shooter she has shown so far. Also missed a couple layups that were seemingly easier shots. Do you think she will eventually make those when she gets bigger, stronger, smart?
Yeah, more experience. I think she will, but I think this teaching her as a freshman, you make those, like, don't let it show you're so frustrated. So I think learning how to not go like that, learning how to just go back on defense, and that's a freshman thing, and she's learning. She's a great kid. I'm just learning how to next play, and as you get more experience, great shooters, they have amnesia. So you don't care about the shot you just missed. You don't care about the layup you just missed. You care about the next play, and you have confidence that you'll make the next play. So I think just teaching her that, but she has a chance to be a really good player. I think the area we have to get better, and we know she can score. We know she can get to her mid-range game, and she's one of the few that can do that on our team. We have to get her better defensively, and better in the sense of understanding of positioning and stuff like that. And she's not great in that area, but she wants to learn. She wants to be good, so she will improve on that. And she's much better than she was at the beginning of the year. But it's like games like today when they have experienced guards, we pay for it. She's a little bit lower, they seek the ball, and they get it. And I think anticipating a little bit better in the press when she's our interceptor was late a lot. So we have to continue to get her just more agile and more quicker on her feet, so she can do those things, and then it'll help with her strength and endurance. And I always say to the players, because you don't ever want fitness to be a factor. When you're a good player, fitness is never a factor. So and I know that I'm asking for a lot, and I want to credit our players for playing hard. They were gassed at time, and we're playing with a short bench because of a variety of reasons. Right now, we can't go deep into the bench, and not an excuse, but a couple players had flus this week. That's not the reason why we lost it all, but it makes our bench shorter, and the starters have to play a lot of minutes. I mean, Brea's 32 minutes, banging 32 minutes isn't easy. And then we have Jada 34, it's a lot. So ideally, I'd like to get them down to around 30, but then who else is going to step up off the bench and be able to take some of those minutes where we can try to win games? And that's the question right now, and it's hard. It's hard when you have people out or suspended. That's not ideal, but it is what it is. And other people have to step up because as a player, opportunities knock softly. So when you have an opportunity and you have one every day in practice in a minute or 3 or 5 or 10 minutes, you have to take advantage of that and you have to produce. And you have to do it. Doesn't mean you have to score. It means you have to do something that we don't have. And tonight, that could have been executing. That could have been great ball movement. That could have been diving on a floor, bringing us energy. That could have been talking and communicating and bringing a spark. And we don't have someone to do that now. And if you look at when we are really good, we've always had that. Who was that spark for us for 4 years before she started? Helena. She was the one that came in, not vocal, but she came in and did all those little things. And I think we need to be able to find someone that can do that. So we can sit Jada for a few minutes so she has legs to press, in the last 5, and we can get some scoring in that way. So.
Play in I think it was the third quarter where Monte had an open 3 and she decided to not take it, dribble, travel. Would you like to see her take that shot?
I'd like to see her today, probably not. Like I would. Like after her first ball, I'd like to see her get that shot after more ball movement. I don't want to see, so that's 2 passes on that shot? No. Now if Monte was sitting there shooting 40, Lauren could take that shot. Lauren's shooting almost 40% from the 3. So Monte can get that same shot after another reversal and a pick and pop. And the ball moved from one side. Everybody touched the ball. The ball was from one side to the opposite corner. She goes and sets an on ball and receive it off a puck after ball movement. I would prefer that. But if she's wide open and she's feeling good, she just got a couple offensive rebounds. I'm not going to pull her out for taking that shot. But Monte takes good shots. But Monte's been out. She's been out for 4 or 5 days with the flu. So today, probably not because she was having a tough time playing. I mean, she's got over the flu, so she's struggling. If I would have saw her yesterday, I would have thought she'd make the game today. So, I think but she's thinking, and she was trying, but she felt really bad. We were talking on the bench. But things like that are going to happen. That's why other people have to step up. And Monte is valuable to us. She needs to play, and she needs to be healthy, and she wasn't today, so we needed something from someone else. But she's important to us because she can play the 2, 3, 4, every position. We can do different things defensively with her. So games like today, we need her.
All right, thank you.
Okay, cool. Thanks.